After a long two-week build-up here in the Bay Area, the moment has finally arrived. It is time for football here at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Folks, this is Super Bowl 60, and we've got an outstanding matchup on tap. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Denver Broncos taking on the NFC champions. Brandon going along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. And this was a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I'd agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for in a Super Bowl team. Character, confidence. These guys don't lack for either one of those. Now they're here. Now they're ready to win.
Meanwhile, our NFC champions, they have gone through a lot to get where they are. Everybody knows their story this season. What's the key for them as they start this Super Bowl?
Let's go full cliche on this one because it works. Remember what got you here. Been a winning formula all season long. This is a team that when we saw them in the preseason, we said they look like a group that has what it takes to be a Super Bowl winning team. And we've been proven right by what we've seen throughout the season.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the third overall selection back in 2018 from USC. It's Sam Darnold.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we're looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman, the ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
And he is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
They go with the empty set there. 5 receivers in the formation. Normally, you want to have a running back in to block, but in this case, he's lined up to the right, and he ends up getting the football. A lot of confusion caused defensively, and it turns into a big play.
To throw is Darnold. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical it would be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT. 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, Walker. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. 2 yards on the Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Now it's Darnold. Now he's going to step up and run. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Sam Darnold taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Seahawks are on the board first here in this Super Bowl.
Brandon, this is the Super Bowl. A touchdown scored in any game is big. In this one, it's massive.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
And there are a lot of quarterbacks who had terrific careers. Think about guys like Phillip Rivers, Randall Cunningham, Dan Fouts, Warren Moon. But they never got to a Super Bowl. Yet here he is in his second NFL season, already getting his chance. I mean, harken back to Dan Marino. Another superstar made it in his second year, lost the game, and never made it back again.
From the 31, here's the 2nd down and 6. Nix to the air. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
That's good.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now it's Nix. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll run with a 2nd-round pick from Akers draft. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. To throw, here's Nix. He completes this to Sutton. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
7-yard attempt.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now a 2nd and 10. Up the middle, here's Walker. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This now a 3rd and 4. Darnold now to throw. And that nearly intercepted. Yeah, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. And instead, it's 4th down.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3-and-out.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. They'll begin on the ground with Harvey. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Across midfield. He's on his way. And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down at the 20. 68 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. He's been reliable all year, and he continues that reliability here on the biggest stage.
And when we were in a production meeting with the offensive coordinator, didn't he kind of mention, maybe even smile about the idea of running the football? Spoke well for them.
And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, some nice running right there. That's what got them the 1st down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
Harvey now on 1st and 10. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. R.J. Harvey, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos have taken the lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Nifty move. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Now Darnold. There's a short one caught by Arroyo. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. A play fake, and it's Darnold. Over the middle and complete to Shaheed. And he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
First down, Seahawks.
This is all about finding the open space in the middle of the field. How do you do that? One way is through play action. That's going to freeze those linebackers for just a split second, and sometimes that's all you need. They run a deep in route behind them, and it works to perfection.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty, but when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. And Shaheed going to go in motion. Back to throw, Darnold. And that's incomplete.
Incomplete. It's third down and the 11.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Darnold. He wants it all for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Is that Woody
He would have
Hayes?
kept it on the ground.
And we are back and ready to go for the 2nd quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And we are back. Biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, and both teams ready for the start of the 2nd quarter. A short throw to Ingram.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
3rd and 5.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Throwing Nix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a 1st down.
Here's Nix. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Reek Woolen. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were in nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
There's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's Darnold. Wide open receiver, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. It's a big game. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So it's still 1st and goal, but now they get to try from a bit closer. Walker is in. Touchdown, Seattle.
Did my eyes deceive me, or was that an I formation play that was just run there for a touchdown?
Little old school eye.
How about that? Was that a fullback, tailback, running it into the end zone?
Well, that's what that fullback's for, right? That's why you use that. Let him pave the way.
Oh, without a doubt. He's an extra blocker, and he did his job well on that play.
Now Myers for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. So now, Charles, this drive, maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Nick's going to give the Hardy. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now 2nd and 9. To throw is Nix. A short throw to Ingram. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They'll go play action with Nix. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fade.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Off the bootleg, here's Nix. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
On 4th down, out is the rookie 6th-round pick, Jeremy Crawshaw, to punt. Back deep, Rashid Shaheed. Fielded just inside the 20. Dances by him. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Back out now comes Kenneth Walker and the Seattle offense. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. 45 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Darnold. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Walker. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 44-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 44-yard line. From the gun, it's Walker. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Darnold. Throw out wide to Walker. And he gets it down to the 32. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Faking the give, Darnold. That's taken in by Arroyo. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
And the Seahawks 1st down.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
A quick throw caught by Kupp out wide. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll give it up to the big man Walker. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal. 2 minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. McTominay. He is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Out of the gun, Walker with it. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Third and goal, a big play in this Super Bowl. They're going to look to throw. He'll try and do this himself. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Sam Darnold, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Seahawks continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns third and goal into a touchdown. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes it a 21-10 game.
Jason Myers.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Nix from the shotgun. Over the middle, complete. That's Sutton. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Working out of the gun is Nix. And this one is incomplete.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
On fourth down, Jeremy Crawshaw on to punt. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Kenneth Walker headed back out there. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
First down, Seattle.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing. And they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Darnold. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the 50, it's Darnold. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. To throw is Darnold. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So halftime now here on Sunday night primetime. Let's get it to Scott Hanson in Orlando with our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hanson and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the 3rd quarter as we're ready to kick off the 2nd half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. And we welcome all of you back here on EA Sports for quarter number 3.
Jason Myers.
These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43. The Broncos offense set to begin this 3rd quarter. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But there's ever a chance to regroup. It's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the 2nd half.
Handoff, here's Harvey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He'll get that complete to Franklin. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 34-yard line.
And the Broncos, 1st down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the handoff, Harvey. And able to get this to the 31.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Once more with Harvey. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Nix to the air. Setting up a screen for Harvey. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Will Lutz on for the field goal. A 49-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. And let's get the ball back for us.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about saying defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. Now it's Darnold. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And Shaheed going to go in motion. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. On play action, here's Nix. Throw left side complete. That's Franklin. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 11 yards for number 11.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Up the middle, it's Harvey. And nothing much materializing there in the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
From the 35, here's 2nd down and 7. Off the play fake, here's Nix. A short throw to Ingram. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Here is 3rd and 5. To throw, here's Nix. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Well, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. That he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A great play by Derek Hall to drop him behind the line of scrimmage.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
That's a gain of 10. Brings up third.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Trying to run for it. Here's Harvey. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 98 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient. Followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Second down and 8. Now it's Nix. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up third and 1.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. On the sneak, it's Nix. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
15-yard line.
Again, it's Harvey. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gain, they can run that play on any down.
Now they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. They run straight ahead with Harvey. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll try and throw. Here's Nix. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. R.J. Harvey, his 2nd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Broncos are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter.
That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense, too.
That's a great point, because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out, but they'll do so fatigued.
And now the offense is going to stay out there as the Broncos will go for two.
The Broncos.
They'll try and throw for it. It's complete. And he will get into the end zone again. And he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the two-point conversion. So they're able to throw it in for the two-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here, because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
Oh, what a move. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Up next, the biggest quarter of the entire season. At the end of that, we get to crown a champion. We are through 3 here in Super Bowl 60. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now, there's just one quarter that remains in this edition of the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, as we get set for the fourth quarter. And we're back in the Super Bowl. Time to decide who gets to hoist that Lombardi trophy as we begin the fourth and final quarter of action. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 73 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he stopped immediately there.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Darnold a sneak. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
After the run, now Darnold to throw. He'll get this one to Cobb, complete. And he's got this down to the 35. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Play action. It's Darnold. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Darnold. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
By the way, you'd be looking at about a 47-yarder from here as they come up on an important third down. Here's Darnold. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
That'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Again, Walker. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Back to throw, Darnold. Oh, no, he lost the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front creating space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 39-yard line.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down and 6. Off the play fake, Nix. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw is Nix. Now they go screen. It's complete. And a 42-yard line here and brought down there. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taken in at the 11.
A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. And this Super Bowl has been as good as advertised. Probably one of the best that we've seen in recent memory. All even here in this 4th quarter. Going deep for Walker. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Oh, man, late in the tight ball game, every play so critical, you feel like you've got to find a way to come up with that football. That was put in a great spot, but it just didn't want to stick in his hands. That's a big letdown.
Darnold now to throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. That time, Charles, great job keeping him in the pocket and not letting him escape.
And, Brandon, I think this was a great example of the front and the back working together, meaning the back covering, no place to go with the football. And the front, terrific job on the edge so he couldn't escape outside. And then, of course, the inside pressure kept him hemmed in as well.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. Denver's offense ready to go again. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Nix. He'll find something on the right side, complete.
But there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
What a Super Bowl it's been to this point. Now a critical 3rd down here. Nix from the shotgun. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Throwing Nix. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Incomplete.
Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. But just a gigantic play here, both sides. This is 3rd and inches. And they'll let their fullback try and push
approach the pile. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score.
Adam Prentice, 14 yards. And the Broncos have broken our tie and have taken a fourth-quarter lead.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a...
And now it's blocked. And the Seahawks have it. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. Well, you figure with a veteran kicker out there, these extra points almost automatic, but this one turns into 2 points the other way.
And we both know it's hard to put it on him. I think there was a breakdown in the protection, but guess what? It does go against his record.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So now Darnold and the Seahawks down by 4, a minute 15 remaining. A touchdown could win the Super Bowl as they've got a first down. Darnold to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
It's now second.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle. Kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Here's Darnold. That's taken in by Arroyo.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
An important one here, no doubt. 3rd and 4. Now Darnold.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Darnold gets this complete to Smith-Njigba.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here comes second down at 5. Now Darnold. That'll be caught by Cup. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
It's a gain of 6.
And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
There's a short one caught by Arroyo.
They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
At the 35-yard line.
They'll come up now on second down. Now it's Darnold. And they finally get to him as he's taken down. And the Lombardi Trophy goes west, and it goes to the Denver Broncos, your Super Bowl champs.
And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
So that'll conclude another captivating season of the NFL on EA Sports. So for Charles Davis and all the hardworking